Now, as a disclaimer, I'd like to say that I am not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a professional trying to diagnose individuals. However, this video is based off of my experiences dealing with a narcissist, my personal experiences, as well as speaking with others who have dealt with narcissistic individuals themselves. And we notice that there are certain patterns with people with this personality disorder. Hey guys, Alien Native here, coming to you to share some knowledge and wisdom on the signs that you're in a relationship, dating, or even married to a narcissist. You heard that right, I said married to a narcissist. Some of these individuals will even wait until you are married to them before they reveal their true selves. Typical of a narcissist, they will not show you their true selves. They will keep their mask on until they feel they reach a point in their relationship that they're comfortable enough to reveal their true nature to you slowly but surely. Unfortunately, a lot of people get trapped into full-blown marital commitment before they truly know who they're married to. It's very imperative for you to notice and recognize these red flags, these signs, to avoid such a commitment. Whether it be marriage, whether it be a committed relationship, or whether it be even having children with these individuals. Before getting into the discussion of the signs that you're with a narcissist, it's very essential to understand that when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it will always go through a 3-point cycle. You have the idolization stage, the devaluation stage, and the discard stage. Now, I call it a cycle because a narcissist will always come back to you to institute or restart this cycle. So the first stage is idolization. This is when a narcissist has his or her mask fully strapped on and they're a completely different person than their genuine selves. This is when the narcissist is trying to convince you to fall in love with them. They're trying to get into your good graces. So there are a few things that they'll be doing. They'll be trying to keep in contact with you all day, trying to send positive messages, trying to put you on a pedestal and idolize you, which is where the term idolization comes from. So the narcissist will tell you you're beautiful, tell you you're unique, tell you that whatever you're doing in your life is great. And it might be true. This is certainly true for almost all cases. This is why they're attracted to you, because you're a fantastic person. And so they'll highlight your positive attributes and lay on the flattery really thick because they're trying to get you to fall in love with them and pull on your heartstrings and tug you to feel a whole bunch for them. Now it's a mask, but there are a few cracks in the mask sometimes. Well, actually, most times. Sometimes they'll slip up and say or do something that's a little off or weird. And sometimes they might even outright tell you something that, should be a red flag. So, but they're trying their hardest to be someone that they're not. And so this is one of the worst parts of dealing with a narcissist. This is what will get you hooked to them. This stage of idolization, this stage of them treating you like a king or a queen. The devaluation stage is the second phase in this narcissistic cycle. And this is basically when the narcissist, like the name suggests, devalues you. They disrespect you, verbally abuse you, in many cases physically abuse you. They gaslight and manipulate to gain control, and they're just complete monsters. This stage of devaluation typically lasts the longest because the narcissist is showing you who they really are. This is their genuine selves when they could feel free to act like monsters. And during this stage, they trauma bond you. They do all types of nasty things, and I could go on and on about the devaluation stage because there are many horrible things that they do to their victims, but let's save that for another video. And this third stage is a discard. So this is when the narcissist decides to abandon the relationship, whether it be physically, you don't see or hear from them for like weeks or months on end, or whether it be in terms of how they treat the relationship. Let's say you support them financially and, you cook every meal, you buy all the groceries, you even do their laundry. They'll decide they don't want to spend any more time with you. So it's no more date night. There's no more coming home to dinner at a certain time. They may even withhold sex. So instead of coming home or being at home around 6, 7, 8, or whatever time, they're going to be gone all night doing whatever, doing Lord knows what, and come to you around 1, 2, 3 a.m., go to sleep, and that's it. Wake up in the morning, gotta go to work. You have to go to work. They might not even work at all. They might even have you spending all your money on paying their bills. So you continue to support them financially, though, because you're trying to do everything that you can to keep the relationship afloat. You're trying to cater to them and please them because you're trying to get back to that first stage, the idolization stage. And the meantime, the narcissist is blaming you for the reason why they're gone. They'll use any type of information to tell you that they need some air to breathe, or maybe they won't even have enough respect to tell you or make up lies about what they're doing. They don't even have enough respect to waste their breath and communicate with you. So that's the discard stage. And so we have this narcissistic cycle of idolization, devaluation, and I was about to say abandonment, but the term that is used widely is discard. And so you're thinking, oh, discard, that means throw away. So it must be over, right? No, it's a cycle because no matter if they're gone for weeks, months, sometimes even years, a narcissist will always try to get back in touch with you, which is called hoovering, right? Like the vacuum, they're trying to suck you back into the cycle. So that's the narcissistic cycle. It could happen to anyone. It could happen to the best of us. Go across YouTube and you could see all the different persons who are speaking about narcissism and being victims of the same. And they're highly intelligent. We're intelligent persons. And that, like I said, I have to stress that that's why they chose us. And that's why, if you're listening to this, unfortunately, they may have chosen you because you're a competent and intelligent person. And that's why they have to resort to lying and gaslighting to, get you to try to give them a moment of your time, if not even more. So moving on to the first sign that you're with a narcissist or dating one is when they're moving fast in a relationship. So what do I mean when I say moving too fast? We all know that there are certain stages of a relationship that couples advance to as time goes on. Like saying I love you, moving in with each other, getting engaged, having children, A narcissist will see each of these stages as tools to further gain control over you and solidify his or her connection to you. So, as an unsuspecting victim, in the beginning you're going to think, oh, this person genuinely loves me. Because as someone wants to connect with you and share their life with you, these are the things that you guys do together. It's typical. You want to start a family. You want to, exchange your verbal feelings of affection for each other. However, like I said, the narcissist will use these as tools to to keep you vulnerable, to actually, you know, hurt you or use you. So if you have someone saying I love you within 2 weeks of meeting you, no, I mean, maybe that could happen. Someone could genuinely love you, but that's a huge red flag for a narcissist. And they typically say I love you so that they could get to your emotions, so that they could right away start using you. So let's say they want you to do a favor for you. They want you to do a favor for them. They'll say, "Oh, but I love you. Don't you love me?" Like, it sounds really, really obvious, but when you're there and you started to, you know, date and even get physical with them, it's easy for them to get you wrapped in emotions and believing that, they love me. I am a great person. Another one would be, oh, them trying to move in with you within like a month and a half. And a lot of times they will play the victim card. Oh, well, my landlord is trying to evict me. I'm having problems with my roommates. And really, they can't really pay rent, and that's why their landlord is evicting them. They can't afford it. Oh, can I move in with you? I love you so much. Please, we could live a great life together. This and that. Say no. Like, they're probably threatened to discontinue the relationship, but anyone with the right mind will not be a boo-boo the fool and let them into your space like that. You know what that means? That means that they are suddenly financially dependent upon you. They're there in your face every day so they could comment upon how you're living, criticize you, and, eventually control you because they're really in physical proximity of you. You're waking up next to them every day. You don't want anyone to get control or close to your life in that way within a month and a half, 2 months. That's crazy. And you know what? Hindsight is 2020. So unfortunately, I must report that at a point I played Boo Boo the Fool, right? I was kind and I was empathetic and I let my ex-narc move in with me within a month and a half of knowing him. Don't do it. Do not do it. If you do it, you will have a leech of a person sucking literally the money from your pockets, and eventually, like a true leech, the essence from your body. They are out for blood, and they are also what we call, energy vampires. You'll also notice that they'll suck your energy from you. You're living with them, next you know, you come home, can't get any peace. Can't focus on the activities that you want to engage in. They might even mess up with your earning potential. But again, that's for another episode. Another sign you need to watch out for is when they have problems with their other relationships. And when I say other relationships, no, a narcissist is not going to outright show you the other people that they're with in the beginning stages of your dealings with them. No, I mean like their family members, their friends, even strangers. So I guess we'll start with the strangers, right? You guys are at a lovely dinner, you sat down, you ordered, and the waiter or waitress comes by, and you notice that the person is speaking very nastily and speaking and talking down to the waiter or waitress. Or when they're not by the table, the narcissist or the person you're with, we don't know if they're a narcissist yet, would, you know, talk smack about them, because they're in the position that they're in, right? Now, it doesn't matter what position a person is in their life. Like, you could be a janitor, you could be a waitress, you could be a trash man or woman. These are jobs that are typically considered lower rung, but these are humans. These are humans trying to earn a keep for themselves and even their families. We need to respect each other, and we need to understand that everyone's doing what they can, and people will not always be in the same position in their lives. No, a narcissist would take this opportunity to talk down to a person and make the person feel horribly so that the narcissist would feel better about themselves. Well, you're thinking, oh, well, they're talking to this person as if they're a piece of trash, but you know what? He's treating me well, she's treating me well, whatever. No, don't ignore that sign at all. Next, we have the family of the narcissist. Mind you, these are the same individuals who grew up with and or brought up the narcissist as a child. So these are people who know exactly what's going on. You might find a few narcissists themselves in the family because narcissists are made. They're generally made through their environment. It's mainly learned behavior. And despite them knowing the true colors that the narcissist is hiding, they like to also put up a facade because narcissistic families want to seem perfect to outsiders in the beginning. So they'll be extremely fake, kind of shallow, but you could kind of notice with these family members, there is an underlying competition between them, similar to the relationships that narcissists have with their friends. There's some kind of underlying darkness, and they can oftentimes be passive aggressive with each other. However, when it comes to dealing with the unsuspecting victim, narcissistic family members will often aid and abet in controlling and abusing the victim in subtle, indirect ways. What does that mean? They won't warn you of the narcissists and who they truly are. They won't tell you about their behaviors. They'll try to proliferate and engage in any drama that happens in the future, and generally act as flying monkeys. But that's another time we'll talk about that. But signs that they're narcissistic family members, like I said, the competition and the underlying ill will towards each other, but also they will tend to try to show off to you, speak mainly about themselves. They ask you a question about yourself. They might use that as an opportunity to bring up whatever's going on in their life or what they have accomplished in the past. A lot of them like to talk about what they did when they were younger, back in the day, and they might even tell you the same stories as time goes on and expect you to be impressed. It's like they want a supply of attention from you as well. even um, even when you get to know them as time goes on, they will they will tell you the same things they told you the first time that you met them. And a lot of times they'll hardly let you talk. Or if they do let you talk, it's like they're trying to find information to get dirt on you. That would be like the sister. It's hard to really catch on to sometimes because they're very manipulative, and that's just like how they learn how to survive in their family. It's not really like, oh, we're gonna be candid and loving. No, it's more like fake and strategic. Another aspect would be the fakeness, this overly sweetness, but behind each other's backs, they like to, you know, gossip. They love the drama. So let's say it's your first or second time meeting them. They very well might talk about other family members and try to shame them and look down upon them, but they're not in the room. And I know families talk about each other, but the way that narcissistic families do this is, you know, not in a loving way, or she should do better. Oh, I really want him to do better. I really, hardly any positive things to say about, what the person's doing in their lives. So, they definitely come for the fakeness and the drama. And you'll catch on these subtle signs. Like, it's not natural the way they act. And what really should have been a red flag to me in my relationship was how the narcissist acted before I first met his parents. Going back to the first sign, I personally thought it was too soon for me to meet his parents. I was thinking it was going by quickly, but since I was very passive and went with the flow, I was like, okay, I mean, why not? He wants me to meet his parents. It should be interesting. However, he immediately, before going to his parents, he started getting angry and cursing under his breath at his parents. And I was asking him, what's wrong? What's going on? And he told me, nothing, it's just I haven't seen them in months and, we kind of have some drama going on. And I was like, okay, well, first off, they live 8 to 10 minutes away, as you told me. And I'm not sure why you haven't seen them in months. I mean, I guess family drama is drama. So, I mean, yeah, okay. But what really got me was what happened when we came up to the door of his parents. So on the whole ride to the parents, which was short, he was very miserable. But as soon as he got onto the porch and rang the doorbell, his composure completely flipped. He was suddenly a very pleasant person, smiled at them when they came to the door, hugged them. And I thought, wow, I just saw firsthand this person flip to being very pleasant. And I was like, you know what, maybe it's best for him to act this way, because we shouldn't even, well, he shouldn't cause drama. I was just there to mainly meet them and observe. And yeah, they're very fake. They kind of talked about one of his sisters, like I said, in a poor light, but other than that, they're very prideful themselves and their accomplishments in the past. So just seeing the whole dynamic, it was just really off. And unfortunately, it didn't turn me off from being in the relationship with the narcissist. So that is my huge mistake, and I want you to avoid such a terrible relationship. Sign number 3. The narcissist is showing you off like a trophy. Narcissists value certain things in life. They value money, status. They like people who have a future and they have things going for them, which is exactly why you become a target, because they could use you for social status themselves. They could use you to actually help them get further in life, or even not even get further in life, but to just relax and enjoy life on your dime, while all at the same time mistreating you. So it's normal for a significant other to feel so proud of you that they feel they have to show you off. But there are limits, as well as how is he or she showing me off. Let's say you earn a new position at your work and your partner is like, oh, my boyfriend or my girlfriend so-and-so is now the managing partner at this firm. Isn't that amazing? That is wonderful. Go tell them more about it, honey. Go tell them more about it, baby. Well, a narc will say this. Instead of saying, go tell them more about it, baby, they'll leave it at that. They'll start talking about whatever it is they want to talk about. They won't go any further or deeper into what you've accomplished. They won't tell you to speak for yourself and tell them about it, honey. They would just, brag and then leave it at that. The reason they don't want to get too deeply into it is because if you're too successful, that's when they start to get jealous. Yes, narcs get jealous of you. They choose you because you're great, But down the line, they start to get jealous because you're great. And because they're the type of individuals who do not have self-discipline, don't practice nor understand commitment, they're not persistent with anything but causing you pain. That's the only thing they're consistent in. You know, they really turn out to be individuals with messed up life. With a messed up life, bad credit, no degree, or if they have a degree, it's very low. Bad relations with people across the board, burning bridges here, there, and everywhere. These are individuals who need to stand on the backs of others to feel great and even be great. So they'll show you off. They'll want you to have the limelight, but for a few seconds, only to build them up and not for you to actually shine. Number 4, the narc has a great sense of self-importance and entitlement. Now, this might be mistaken as confidence, and narcissists always playing themselves up might be seen as this person knows themselves. But truly, at the end of the day, they are really trying to make up for the deep-seated insecurity that they have on a daily basis. And if you say, hey, everyone is unique, everyone is their own person, they'll tell you no. They don't agree with that. They would say, I'm unique and everyone else is a non-player character. Now, if you don't know what a non-player character is, it's one of those people that you see walking around in Grand Theft Auto, but they're not controlled by a player in real life. So they're just in the background, and they're made just so that the person who's playing the game as a character could see them. And, if the main character takes a machete and totally annihilates other people, it's okay because it's a video game, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's kind of like that with a narcissist, but for the majority of the part, emotionally, and I'm not just saying they're depraved killers, but a lot of them can be. A lot of them are depraved abusers. So it goes back into their lack of empathy. So before you even know that these individuals lack empathy, you could look into how they view themselves and how they view other people, right? So they might view people as fillers in this game of life, as if they're the only ones that really matter and truly feel pain, right? So they're gonna level themselves up higher than other people. I was in an abusive relationship with a narc. Matter of fact, oftentimes, multiple times a week, I'll find myself fighting for my physical safety. It even got to the point where he broke my bones on my head. He used all of his force and hurt me. And in my defense, against his attacks, I was scratching my hands. I eventually got an injunction against him. It was a temporary injunction because I felt like my life was in immediate danger, and it was. And it was to keep him away from me. But a temporary injunction lasts typically 10 to 15 days, where you have to have a hearing for a more permanent injunction in place. And for those of you who don't know, an injunction is a no contact order. By law, this person cannot call you, message you, speak with you, or be within a certain amount of feet from your body, from you. So while we were there at the hearing, which lasted 3 hours, by the way, because he fought tooth and nail, was lying in court. I first went and told my side of the story of things. I told them, hey, this person severely injured me. He's very manipulative. He's abusive. Here's all the evidence, here's the pictures, I even have some videos to show you of him screaming, pushing me, and doing all types of things, saying all types of nasty things. And at first he wanted to interrupt me, like he was entitled to cutting me off during the court proceeding. But as you may know, when it comes to legal proceedings, only one party gets to talk at a time to avoid, a person talking over the other. Anyway, when it got to his turn, he complained to the judge, "Oh, she scratched me. She scratched me. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, you know what? She has broken bones. They'll heal. They'll heal." So he's comparing the scratches I gave to him in self-defense, light nail scratches, to him breaking my bones, which actually prompted me to get surgery. That was the first surgery that I underwent, anesthesiology. Like, that's the first time I was put under to have my face surgically fixed. And this person was downplaying it as if I didn't matter. So that's the type of person that we're dealing with, right? And I ran too deeply into that story, but the point is, if they're acting as if they're kings and queens, and the only people who are better than them are maybe people who are really established, like millionaires or, famous people, or they want to be at a certain level, they'll kiss up to other people. Yeah, I belong in this league of elites. I belong in this league of sophisticated people. When they don't even have a dime to their name, they get a sense of self-importance and entitlement to the finer things in life when they haven't even worked for, what other people in that position have worked for. The next sign is that you're dealing with a perpetual victim. So if you are dealing with someone who lacks accountability, never takes responsibility for anything bad that happens in his or her life, always has someone to point a finger to and blame, then, you're probably dealing with a narc. You shouldn't really be dealing with anyone who does that anyway, because most people like that never get too far in terms of accomplishments in life. If you identify problems, then it'll be easier for you to resolve them and move on to the next step. No, a narc will never do this. He or she likes to look back, never forgive, and oftentimes there's nothing that they need to forgive. Oftentimes they are lying. A narcissist will abuse a victim in various ways, and after they are done with you for the moment, they will go online, social media, post some things about you. They will talk to their friend circle. They will talk to your friends and mutual friends and tell all these people that you did to them what they actually did to you. See, they try to make the victim as if they are the aggressor because they know eventually what they did to you will get out. They want to jumpstart and say, hey, this person did this, and this to me. That way, when you come out and say what you have to say, the truth about who they are, you'll be looking like you're crazy. Or there'll be two people saying similar things, and it won't be easy to figure out who the real victim is. So, a narcissist will project everything that they did to their victim onto the victim and put that heavy burden on your shoulders. Not only was it bad enough you had to suffer under their control and all their lies and cheating and abuse, they're gonna smear you socially. It's called a smear campaign. So let's say you're dealing with a narcissist, or you're dealing with a person who is going online or even talking about all the bad things that so-and-so did to him. And they can't get over it. And it's an everyday thing. This narcissist could have been fresh out of a relationship doing horrible things, Lord knows what, to a person. And, you wouldn't be any the wiser unless you're keen to the fact that normal people don't do this. A lot of victims I've noticed do not go and broadcast the fact that they were abused by an individual. They want to move on with their lives. The only people they're going to be talking to are, if it went so as far as to being criminal, they would go to domestic violence detectives, they'll be going to the police, state attorneys, counselors, to talk about their personal problems that arose from a horrible relationship. I talked to many men and women about what I've went through, and they turn around and tell me, hey, I was in a horrible relationship in this year. I'm married now. Things are better. And I would have never been the wiser that they had actually gone through such horrible situations, or a horrible relationship that nearly left them feeling spiritually crushed, financially devastated. These are people who are put together now, but in the past they had to deal with the most. They are not broadcasting the fact that they were wronged. No, those are usually the aggressors. Okay, the next sign would be the narc's online presence. These days, we're in the age of information. People are constantly on their smartphones, on the laptops, whatever type of tablets there are, connected to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all other things like Pinterest, Reddit, Quora, whatever. It's a time for us to generally find out what's going on in the world right now, what happened in the past, what are some major truths that are coming out. So the narc would definitely be into that. However, their online presence a lot of times is they're being a troll. They like to post a lot of pictures of themselves. They love to try to goad other men, or if the narc is a male, other women, to comment upon and like their photos. They like to give them chances to comment upon their appearance. They love it. They love the attention. But they could even be trolls. They love the haters too. Any type of social energy, they're going to revel in it. So they'll make that crazy Facebook post that will be very controversial and get a lot of people angrily commenting on it. And then a few months later, they'll speak about the same topic with the opposite stance. They love the drama. They love the online drama. And in terms of online presence, they'll be on all the dating apps. And I mean all. They'll be on Plenty of Fish, Badoo, Hot or Not, Tinder, Christian dating apps. And I know all of these because my ex was an avid user of all of these apps, even though we agreed in our relationship that these dating apps were impermissible. He told me, sure, okay. He told me what I wanted to hear, and he turned around and kept doing it. They feed off of the energy of the opposite sex, or if they're same gender, the same sex. Whoever is their audience, they want them to tell them, oh, you're so attractive, you're so sexy, or they might even say it to other people so that they could get a conversation going. This is what we're dealing with. These individuals love the clout. Let's just say it like that. They do it for the gram. Instead, it's for real life. They do it for themselves. They do it for they are a narcissist, and they don't have any respect for relationships. The supply of attention and energy is their drug, is their relationship. They're in a relationship with the drama, So just try to notice if they're one to post, something on the hour every hour, which is what my ex did on Twitter and Facebook, or if they're one to actually live life and live in the moment, and then maybe post about what they did later. Social media is also a great platform for narcissists to brag about their lives. Let's say they rent a car that's really nice for a few hours. Let's say they decide to spend money on a Tesla. Well, great. Well, they spent $100 to get it for a few hours. They'll post it and act as if the car is theirs. So social media, online presence, that's a sign. The next sign is financial irresponsibility. So, the majority of narcissists are really poor with handling money. It's so funny because, like I said, they are so entitled to the best life has got to offer, yet the majority of the time, if not all, they cannot provide what they want, which is why they have to rely on you, the victim, to serve out your finances and your resources to entertain them. A narc will often have a part-time job, own their little side business, or do odd jobs to get whatever cash that they can for spending money. It's not really so they can support their own lifestyle because they have people doing that for them. They get money because they can spend it on drugs, alcohol, buying new clothes or technology for themselves. They're really greedy with their money. However, when they spend it, it's for pure foolishness mostly, mainly for short-term, short-lived fun. So let's say that the narcissist is living with 3 other roommates, right? He has to pay his fair share of rent. He or she has to pay his fair share of rent. Let's be fair. Marks are male and female. So let's say it's not that much. It's $400 a month, right? Because they're living with roommates. And they manage to make that money in a month. But they're like, you know what? I worked so hard this month. I feel like I deserve a vacation. I feel like I deserve to pop bottles in the club. I feel like I get to live it up because I worked so hard. I deserve it. So all the money that they earned from that month of working, they would literally go out of the town, book a nice luxurious hotel at a hotel room or a resort room and live it up. They'll go out to the club, act like they're big meech, and then they'll drive back to wherever they live, and come time to pay rent, they're like, oh, well, I don't have enough. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna have to get me back this month. I swear, I promise I'll pay it next month. They do this as much as they can over and over to their poor roommates because they don't want to get evicted and eventually running up a tab. And then they basically move out whenever they feel like it because it's like, oh snap, I owe this much money. I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, my roommates, oh, they hate me. Whatever. They're not good with saving their money for necessities. And if you see them dropping a lot of money at a time, but you should do a general assessment of where are they getting this money? What kind of job do they have? What are their future earnings looking like? Can they even afford this? I mean, you could kind of find out without even asking them about their financial information. You could see what they're doing on a daily basis and see, hey, they don't have a job. What are you doing? Are you sure you can afford this? They may even start asking you to pay for certain things. Oh, I left my wallet at home. Oh, no, you didn't. You lied. It's in your car. You left it in your middle console. But they fake it. They fake a lot. And during their most financially desperate times, that's also when they'll be trying to move in with you. That's also when they'll be trying to say, I love you, or, ooh, let's have a baby. Because, 1, they're financially suffering, and 2, these are people who don't really want to work to make a living. So, that's a major red flag. Their irresponsibility to handle basic finances. The next sign would be isolation. This is where the narcissist tries to get you to spend less time with your family and or friends, because they know that these people who are your loved ones support you and will save you from whatever type of abuse the narcissist will put you through. So these social structures to help catch you, if you fall, these are like nets. They're safety nets for you, your social support. The narcissist will try to tear them down, whether it be telling you that you need to spend more time with me, you need to spend less time with your boys, with your girls. Why are you doing this? Don't you love me? I'm supposed to be the one that you spend your life with. Why aren't you getting to know me? Why aren't you getting to know me more? It's those types of words and that type of behavior which first causes you to spend less time with your loved ones, but also they'll start to make up stories about them, about your family members talking behind your back, and this is what they said and that is what they said. And most of the time it's BS. It's a crock of poo. It's just lies, and they're just trying to get you separated from them. So once you are separated and isolated from your family and friends, they could go out with their friends and do whatever they want. They could go out and be like, yo, get off my back. I'm going to do this, and that. When you already like cut ties with your family, when you already decided I'm going to spend less time with my friends. And so you get to a certain point where it's like, okay, it's normal. So-and-so is not going to be hanging out with us. Your friends are like, let's stop inviting him, or let's stop inviting her to these functions. And the narcissist will make a huge fuss if you leave the home to go hang out with them. Oh, when are you coming back? Oh, you came back 5 minutes later than you said you would. It'd always be a problem. So you decide I'm never going out to hang out with people, try to isolate you from the world. If their family members are toxic enough, the only people that you'll be seeing are their family members, just so that they could inch by inch take more and more of your spirit and your soul, so that you go deeper and deeper into a negative frame of mind and depression. It's especially worse if you're living in another town away from your family members, and even in another state or country. It's imperative that whatever relationship you're in, you're staying in contact with your loved ones. Lastly, we have verbal abuse. And I'm not saying lastly as if these are all the signs that you're with a narcissist. I missed plenty of them. So please comment down below if you think I missed any red flags that other people should be aware of. I know I didn't touch on everyone. Please help out each other. Please help us all out so we could avoid this nasty person, this horrible situation. I say lastly because verbal abuse is typically what happens when the relationship is progressing into the devaluation stage. First, it's going to be verbal. They're going to verbally insult you. At first, it will seem like healthy criticism. Maybe you could look at it as a way of them being constructive. They're constructively criticizing you to make you a better person. And then they're outright get fully on disrespectful. It will start with comments as if they're trying to help you, like, maybe you should lose some weight, maybe you should exercise more. Then the next day they're saying, hey, you should look like her, or you should look like him. You need to work out more. And then they'll even criticize what you're doing. Let's say you're washing the dishes, because a narcissist never wants to really cook or clean. And so they want you to do it their way. They'll take that one time to demonstrate how it should be done. And after that, they'll never touch the dishes again except to eat the food that you made for them. But they'll go and criticize you and tell you, hey, this is how it's supposed to be done, not your way. Doesn't matter if the dish is clean, they're trying to exert control over you. Now, the narcissists and their words are really the majority of where their power comes from. They use their words to build you up in the beginning of the relationship, and then they use them to tear you down in the middle and in the end. This is how they get to gaslight you, deceive you, make you fall in love with them through flattery, through future faking, telling you, this is how we're going to be in the future, and this is what I want to do, and I'm going to be there for you, baby. I'm going to support you. The works. But at the end of the day, all this verbal abuse, all of their lies, the gaslighting is really all that they have in terms of power. So starting at the devaluation stage and to the discard and even to the idolization to get you back, they will be talking just to get their way. I used to make a joke to myself that with my ex, he didn't have a job. His only job was to, talk to me. His only true job was to talk to me. Now, he did have side gigs, actually. He had side gigs. Like, he would be a DJ on the weekend. He had part-time jobs, and he would make cash to spend on himself. But in terms of true employment to support me, support the family, that was nothing. Like, that money that he earned was just his spending money, expecting me to do everything, to take care of everything financially as well. So verbal abuse is definitely what they do naturally, because that's who they truly are. They're telling you what's in their spirit, in their soul, in their head. So if you ever hear them slip up, say something nasty and mean, and then it's a continual thing, they could be a narcissist. There's all types of people who speak poorly, but if you're dealing with a narcissist, they definitely are verbally abusive. So these are signs that you're dealing with a narcissistic individual. As I said before, this is not an exclusive list. If you believe that I missed any important signs, please list them in the comments below. Also, please like and subscribe, and share this video. Spread the word.